What up, peeps? It's late. I haven't done one of these in a bit, but I'm happy to finally be back on. I don't know what I'm going to talk about today, but if anything, I'm just looking at the Sarah Boone trial for day one. Because I'm interested in seeing how this turns out. I've been trying to keep up with the Sarah Boone case, but she's been too fucking crazy in court lately. I am okay, Judy. I appreciate the concern. First off, thank you for getting here so quickly. And second, I have had work these past 2 nights, so I wasn't able to do anything. Well, I could have done something on. No, couldn't have done anything on Wednesday because I had to get up early for Thursday. I was gonna work today, but fiance's having mental health stuff going on, so I figured it would be best to stay back and help her out. Just do what I can to make sure she's in an okay place. I need water. So, Judy, if you do not have any, go get something to drink, go get something to eat, or take your medications if you have to. Okay, I need to clean up this desk. Okay, I'm back. My apologies. Let me just clear up some of what I got going on here. I will say, I did buy myself a whiteboard. A large, somewhat tall whiteboard that I'd like to hang on the wall in order to do Scientology presentation videos. I think that would be fucking sick, and I now have the whiteboard and the expo markers in order to do so. Pencil, Sharpies, clipping here. Sorry, just trying to adjust. Okay, here. Put these crayons away. Use some colored pencils. Pens away. Markers. pencil sharpener. This can go right here. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's a Yeti. It's like a bear type thing. So that's what that looks like. It's very comfy. Well, I'm glad you think it's cute. I appreciate it. Okay, pen. Use it. It's late at night. I don't have to be at work tomorrow. I don't have anything going on tomorrow. Luckily, we got to see my mom tonight and do some dinner, so that was fun. We got to grab some Italian food. Oh, still in the fridge, too. It was like a chicken and mushroom dish over bow tie pasta. Fantastic. They give you a huge portion. I barely made a fucking dent in mine. Carmen ate a little bit of hers, but we still got some left. Why his ex? I'm very confused. Why is his ex coming to you from Hawaii? Unless oh, I'm assuming his son might still be. Is his son too young to fly on his own? So he needs like a guardian or something, to a parent or an adult to come with that. Ooh, bacon Swiss and mushroom. That sounds fucking good. I've never had anything more complicated with meatloaf than just a basic meatloaf. Wait, we do put French what is it? Onion soup mix in it, but oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. What should I do? I could do some stuff on my document, my mass document. Mm. Let's go to alt religion Scientology for a minute on Google Groups, and we're gonna look up G units. Ooh, I got a thing. What do we got here? So we got 1990. Areas, buildings, history, staff. Okay, let's do a new node called From History. We'll call it just random events. So we have 1990. Starting with that. To live in Hawaii. Okay, I got you. Hang on, Judy. I think I had something to say. Okay, yeah. No, never mind. They do come in. It takes a minute. My computer is not. Well, sorry, my phone. For some reason, the Gmail app on my phone has an issue with opening up a picture attachments sometimes because they're marked .heic, but I'm getting them on my PC for some reason. But yeah, I did love how the mandala turned out. That was really fucking cool. Looks trippy. Yeah, that'd be gorgeous to actually work on. Okay, where was I? I'm not gonna go to people because I have a lot of people on this list. Oh my god. Let's see. Load this up here, load this up here. Open this. Move that down here. Here. Okay. Alright. 1990s. DM is Greg Wilhair working on the Tom Cruise project full time. Somehow, some way, Tom Cruise really needs to be made into a Scientologist no matter what. Mimi Rogers is not really a Scientologist and just hangs with some Scientologists, but does not really attend courses or promote it at all. Hold on. Diane told me last night that Eunice thinks that Kai is sweeter than Kalia. So, can we watch her today? Why in the fuck did you fly 3,000 miles to see your grandkids? What the fuck? That's messed up. Yo. That's not. I'm so sorry to hear that. That is fucked up. Yeah, that's weird. Hang on, now I gotta add information to Greg Wilhair's page. GW Wilhair. There we go. We were on gold base, random events. Still though, it's just messed up. So apparently, so David Miscavige had Greg Wilhair working on the Tom Cruise project full time. This was a project, which was a project to make Tom Cruise a Scientologist. Came to Int for his basic training courses. This was super top secret. Most base staff did not even know about it. People involved signed a document that if they told anyone at the base that TC was there, they had to pay a $50,000 fine. What? And 250,000 if anyone was off, if the one they were told that they told was off base. That's fucking weird. Yeah, basically. Apparently, so when Tom came to the base to do his basic training courses back in the 90s, the people who were involved signed a document that if they told any of the other in staff that Tom was there, because obviously he has his own Sea Org staff, they had to pay a $50,000 fine for anyone for anyone told on base, and 250,000 for anyone off base. How do you think they're gonna fucking pay that? Bruce Hines can tell you about this. Okay, so I'm gonna put right here. See Bruce Hines. I could message him. See Bruce Hines. Now I gotta go to his page. Bruce Hines. Hang on. ASI. Okay. Apparently, Tom Cruise was in a top secret course room in the LRH Music Studio conference room. Okay. Okay, so Tom goes off to shoot his race car movie after this. We were at History, Random Events, see Bruce Hines. I guess she'll be in Scientology purgatory forever. So if they do tell, how are they gonna pay? Kick them out and then they go to the gossip mags. I'm thinking about that. Like, how. I mean, the worst you can do is take their fucking, if they had the team share cards, the pay card, they could take that away. Other than that, what are they gonna do? Fucking hold your $50 a week for the rest of your life? I assume that probably is, but I think that's what the case would be for that. Just remember the prison universe from a few quadrillion ago by on self-analysis. Oh, did you? Did you, Vic? What was it? What was it like? Why don't you? Yeah, why don't you tell me about that? I saw a fucking robot destroying a city and enslaving an entire population just last week. Okay, so we're at summer 1990. So apparently the G units, which is the, hold on, I gotta get a picture from Google Maps. Over here. So these little buildings on the right hand side of the property that were related to like VIP guests and stuff. Yo, what up, Holy Rogue? Good to see you. I enjoyed our interview. I know it's been a bit since we actually had it, but I do think about it from time to time. It was a good one. Oh my god, do I have something in my fucking eye? Whatever it is, just fucking get out. Probably shouldn't be rubbing. Hang on. Alright, I'm doing better. Where was I? Did that bullshit from people? Oh yeah, Holy Rogue, let me tell you what I'm talking about. And Vec 67 if you missed it. I'm doing more gold research. Specifically, we're looking at anything related to the Del Sol building, which is the CSI offices and staff auditing rooms. Um, Okay, so I forgot I wrote this down. I have a beating from Bruce Hines, from the mid 1990s. David Miscavige is coming down the hall shouting, "Where is that motherfucker?" Hines is in room 106 of the executive offices. I don't know what executive offices. Executive? Oh, Del Sol building. Fucking duh. Hines had audited the wife of one of David Miscavige's favorite speechwriters at CC Hollywood at Celebrity Center, and it didn't go well. Hines was called to the base. David Miscavige pokes his head in and says, "There he is." He hits Hines right in the side of the head, got right in the face, yelled at him, walked out, and Hines found himself on the RPF. Okay, so G units. No, events. Okay. G units have to be completely renovated and staffed. So this is a different thing from somewhere from the 1990s. Um, David Miscavige has this guy, Greg Wilhare, working on the Tom Cruise project full time, which is when they're trying to make Tom a Scientologist. He came to International the base for his training courses, his basic training courses. Most of the staff didn't know he was there, and any person who did involved signed a contract saying that if they told anyone at the base that Tom was there, they had to pay a $50,000 fine for anyone that they told, and $250,000 if it was somebody off base. Apparently, Bruce Hines has some information on that. I might try to get in touch. Uh, After the training, Tom Cruise goes to shoot Days of Thunder, and in summer of 1990, the G Units, which is the VIP housing on the right-hand side of the property on the south side at Gold Base, they have to be completely renovated and staffed with new service people. That is as far as I'm at right now. Okay. Summer 1990, and the shit starts hitting the fan. Out of nowhere, the G Units have to be completely renovated and staffed with service people, new flowers planted, yada yada yada. The area is at the far ass end of the property without proper irrigation, soil, etc. Okay. This is in the middle of a desert for the most part, and to make this area look nice is not a small task. What's that noise? Kind of rumbling. I don't know what the rumbling was. It was probably someone walking. Okay, so where were we? I now have to take this information. Oh, did I end up citing it? Oh, I have to put it in my resources section for that person. Going to the Del Sol building. No, the G units. Wait, so when did Tom get to... I'm gonna write here. See Tom project. Random events. I'm gonna call this Cruise Project. Units don't have proper irrigation, soil, etc. When the first all-hands staff get called for staff to muster out by the G's, the staff starts to know something is up. The first muster by the G's. Something's up. I'm gonna call this. I'll add that later. Muster was by the G units. Staff told the G units are going to get done no matter what. All the grounds around them to be upgraded. All hands would lead into the night, and morning would come with staff still planting, cleaning, painting, ditch digging, curb painting, etc. You name it, it was being done. First, all hands gets called for staff to muster out by the G's. Weeks and weeks of work would get done with all hands being called at any time. Fuck. Not scheduled. It just could do it. It could happen. Yeah, I heard that too, Jacob. Let me fix the title of the stream here. There we go. The title is now Gold Base 1990, the Tom Cruise Project. Okay. Some nights you'd be heading for the 11 p.m. bus home for the night, and a muster would get called, all hands for 3 hours before anyone secured for the night. 3 hours turned to all night, and everyone back to post in the mornings. So muster could be called at any time. August 10th, 1990. Yeah, Jacob, you're gonna find that a lot of text has been altered since the 80s. You're gonna find a lot of changes. Zulu? No, I didn't watch any of the thing with Natalie and Reese. Let me go look. Oh, Cult Moms. I saw one clip. I saw the clip where where Reese mentioned the barley water, the barley formula, and how it rotted her kid's teeth, and that she was also a barley baby. That's the only part I caught up on. The cannibal, the cleared cannibal. Oh my god. Forgot about that analogy. Anyone who spent time at the base now reading this knows this date, August 10th, 1990. Summers are unusually super hot at the int base. 115 degrees is not uncommon during the day in the summer. Mid afternoon, with the 115-degree weather, and all of a sudden the sky clouded up, and within 60 minutes there was 3 inches of water falling only onto the int base. It did not rain in Hemet, it did not rain in San Jacinto, but it rained more than it had the entire year in all of LA in just a few moments. So much water had come down so quickly, winds had blown over huge trees, mud poured down the mountain, buildings were damaged across the entire base. The entire base was in whites when this went down. White shirts, white pants, white socks, white shoes. People were running all over the place trying to salvage whatever they could. Muddy uniforms were a sign you had at least tried to do something to stop the widespread destruction. It's literally what Dianetics is. It is a hypnosis manual. So I'll say base in full whites. People were running all over the place. Within an hour after the flood, as it would eternally be referred to. Rumors were flying on what damage had been done. Okay, so damage done. Water tower. So the water tower at the top of the hill was dented. The gym had many broken tiles from a fallen tree. Villas, RTC, had been flooded. Wall flooded. Del Sol flooded. Electricity out everywhere. This sounds like fucking hell. The garage flooded. Okay. Mountain above the G units turned to mud, rolled down the hill, across the highway, pushed over the wrought iron fence, and flooded the G units. Fuck. Let me see a picture of the G units here. Damn. Wow. I'm looking at the mountains here and they're fucking. That's terrifying if you're at gold and you're getting fucking flooded with rain and mud and shit. Damn. Alright, what else we got? Blood's going on the iceberg. Where's the iceberg? Sign in, fucker. Damn it. I have to reset my password. Whatever. Dave would hold an all base muster in MCI where he would assign gold a condition of confusion. Holy shit. Fuck. Condition of confusion. I need to know, what is the confusion formula? The formula for confusion is find out where you are. The additional formula is receive a locational in the place where you are, comparing where you are to other areas where you used to be. Repeat step 1. Fuck. Okay. Alright, hang on. Now I gotta add the link to the gym. Wait a minute, G units. I'm gonna do this node. There we go. Tom Cruise project. Okay, so that's going to the G units, the gym, the villas, the garage, Wall, Del Sol, and obviously the G units. He yelled so loud and so long at the entire crew that 2 people fainted. When I say fainted, I mean fall down out cold, get carried out, fainted. The flood was the straw that pushed Dave over the edge. He'd been working his master plan for months on getting Scientology to the next level, and his Tom Cruise plan was being completely killed by the int base. He had nowhere to bring Tom Cruise to show him how super duper Scientology was, except for the int base, and now that was destroyed. Sarah Boone's defense lawyer sucks. She does not have a case. She's gonna get fucking obliterated at trial. Skipping ahead to the court case. Come on. Here we go. Yeah, we should do another interview. Peace out, Holy Rogue. 'Dave put all staff on notice that the whole place was to get back to and beyond where it had been before the flood, and until then it would be unbearable to live there. Fuck. $15-minute meal breaks. 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. schedule. If late to any muster, stay up all night doing amends. If you are late a second time, assignment to the pack RPF. Yes, it is lady who put guy in a suitcase. It is indeed. If you were lucky, you fell asleep somewhere and were smart enough to tell someone to wake you up for a muster. At least 10 people would blow, 10 more to the RPF, 5 more routing out, and generally the place was a hell to exist in. After a few weeks, the crew would adjust to the no sleep, short meals, and miserable existence. This would groom them for the next 18 years. Okay, so that's the Tom Cruise project, so that's for that part. Gotta add one to MCI. Hang on. Now we come to the stories that have been on the net for years. Tom and Nicole running in the fields with the flowers beneath them. This is all true. Staying up for days planting these fields, for what reason? No one knew. Then the base would start to understand why Dave was so pissed. Okay, so hang on. Go to here. This is when he dumped Mimi Rogers. Tom even changed one of the names of one of the characters in Days of Thunder to Dr. Willhair as a joke for Greg Willhair. Oh no shit. So one of the fucking characters are named after a member of the fucking Gold Base. Okay, I have to put this as interesting bit of info. Back at the case. Come on. Okay. So now that Tom dumped Mimi Rogers, Dave wanted Tom to come to the base, but Tom now had to deal with they had to now deal with Nicole Kidman being converted to Scientology. This would take a better, bigger in base with more luxury items to compare with the lifestyles of Hollywood types. With Nicole in tow, Tom's visits were no longer so confined, and he regularly had the run of the place. What's happening? Is this lagging? Like, there we go. I appreciate the compliment, Judy. I've always wanted straight hair. He had a Mercedes delivered to Nicole Kidman at being base. The fuck? Forgot about that part of the Sarah Boone case. She asks detectives, "What are you gonna tell his family?" Like at the scene. Um, and fuck, hang on. So what are you gonna tell his family? They said, "We're gonna tell them what happened." Sarah Boone then says, "They're gonna think I killed him." The deputy would say, "Why would they think that?" And Sarah Boone said, "Well, they've always thought that." The fuck? Greg was now well on his way to being the big dog with Tom, on his way to becoming the next major celebrity. But until Tom was through a lot of courses and really on board, he was not to tell anyone about the involvement. And Nicole would now also have to get involved as well in order for it to all work properly. Tom and Nicole would come to the Int base every now and then, and both would study in the music studio conference room that had been converted to a celebrity course room. Nicole was twinned with Michelle Yeager on the PTSSP course. Tom Cruise was twinned with Al Mace on the Academy levels. Even Kirstie Alley would sometimes be on course when Tom was there. Kirstie was never on course at the Int base, but when Tom Cruise would show up, she would get dragged up there as a prop to be in there so it was not like other celebs, quote, weren't coming up to Int as well. Oh my fucking god. They had to take celebrities from fucking other orgs as like props. Okay. Man. Come on, back to the court, back to the court. You don't give a fuck about Travago, Kayak, or Karma Now, whatever the fuck shit you're trying to advertise me. Trial? We now have an Al Mace to add to the list. This, I don't know why, but this is kind of this is the shit I like reading, is learning about like the different, just anything at this point. Just the connections between Scientologists, like knowing who knows who, where they knew each other from, like fucking back in the SO or over at another class 5 or some shit. But yeah, things were looking good. Tom is warming up to Scientology, and Nicole seems to be on board as well. Hopefully, things work out with Nicole. Mimi Rogers did not last long after David Miscavige decided she was not really a Scientologist, and with her in the mix, Tom would never be a real Scientologist either. Tom would never become a real Scientologist either. She had to go. Funny how Tom was able to hook up with Nicole and Mimi just disappeared. Well, that's where Greg Wilhair comes into play, behind the scenes, weaving the web and setting things up in the background. I was one of the top executives in all of Scientology, playing celebrity matchmaker. You have no idea. Nicole and Tom get married in Colorado, and who attends the wedding? Dave Miscavige and Greg Wilhare. Okay. I'm sorry? Miscavige and Cruz argued? Tom and Dave had a huge argument where Dave tried to shove some KSW shit down Tom's throat. Tom said that he was going to take a break. Ever wonder how he ended up doing so many movies that were like, how could he do that movie? Is he supposedly a Scientologist? Well, he wasn't. He decided that Scientology was a bunch of crap. He was going to turn his back on Dave and his cronies. Greg was nuked for screwing the Tom project up and would shortly after be sent off to the Freewinds to watch Marty Rathbun that had just blown the base and was very unstable. You mean this could have been over? Tom Cruise's association could have never happened this way? Like the likelihood of, oh my god, it was the perfect fucking moment too. Right after an argument with the leader, you fucking leave and you never come back. What the fuck happened? How did you get handled? I have heard of Children of God. I'm pretty sure they're called the Family International now. Uh, yeah, fucking flirty fishing, using sex to recruit. And they're pulling the battered spouse fucking argument. Tom gets to OT3 and disappears into his own world again. Tom basically was like, what the fuck? Years of this shit, and now you're telling me this whole thing is about fucking space aliens? Tom got pissed at OT3? Oh shit. Oh, come on. You had the. Oh, God. You had the best opportunity, Tom. Nicole Kidman tried for many years to have kids, but it appeared that it was him who could not have kids, as Nicole wasn't getting pregnant either. They were trying it with Mimi Rogers, and then he still couldn't do that to Nicole Kidman. Yeah, I have seen that Natalie's dating Zeno. Now we are at 2001. Several people were installed within Tom Cruise's staff and personal infrastructure so the church could keep tabs on him and know when to make a move. Apparently, Nicole Kidman was pregnant in 2001. So, here we go. Dave gets the Nicole intel and works fast. Marty Rathbun is sent in to meet up with Tom and feed him a whole story about how Nicole was his SP, that she was ruining his life and basically a total hoe bag. Of course, Tom agrees with this under the circumstances. Marty offers to take Tom into session and do some repair auditing and get him patched up. Wait, Jacob Sagan, do you have free books? Excuse me for a second. Oh, I don't think it's you, it's somebody else. Divine Hell? Huh. Hang on. No, I want this Divine Hell, Hang on. Oh, Secret Scientology. Okay. I know what that is. Why can I not? Found it. Dianetics, the original thesis. Oh, do I want to commit to this right now? What to do? All right, you know what? Fuck it. I'm listening to the original thesis. Question is, do I make y'all suffer with me? I will. I will make y'all suffer with me. So let's turn this up a little.
Dianetics, the original thesis.
Actually, I don't want this. No, it's not going to get flagged by anybody. Fair use. I'm reacting to it. Fuck you.
By L. Ron Hubbard. Introduction. In 1932, an investigation was undertaken to determine the dynamic principle of existence.
I will say, when I first listened to Dianetics, the Modern Science of Mental Health on audiobook, I had this like chill down my spine because of the dude's voice and just what I was listening to. The mix of great narrator, well, okay narrator for Hubbard. Could, if Hubbard wrote better, this narrator could do better. But either way, decent enough voice. And just the weirdness of the subject, the fact that I'm just listening to an audiobook of total bullshit, strikes a very specific chord in my brain. And this is striking that chord again.
In a workable form, which might lead to the resolution of some of the problems of mankind. A long research in ancient and modern philosophy culminated in 1938 in the heuristically discovered primary law. A work was written at that time which embraced man and his activities.
Excalibur, the Dark Sword.
In the following years, further research was undertaken in order to prove or disprove the axioms so established. Certain experiences during the war made it necessary for the writer to resolve the work into applicable equations, and an intensive program was begun in 1945 toward this end. A year later, many techniques had been discovered or evolved, and a nebulous form of the present refined work was formulated. Financed chiefly by a lump sum disability compensation, that form of Dianetics was intensively applied to volunteer subjects, and the work gradually developed to its present form. Dianetics has been under test by the writer, as here delineated, for the past 4 years. The last series of random volunteers, numbering 20, were
No way did this motherfucker just say what I thought he said.
subjects, and the work gradually developed to its present form. Dianetics has been under test by the writer, as here delineated, for the past 4 years. The last series of random volunteers, numbering 20, were rehabilitated, 20 out of 20, with an...
Yeah, fucking alright, sure. I wonder how many groups of 20 there were. Probably like 3. If anything, just 1.
average number of work hours of 52 per subject. Dianetics has been found to successfully resolve migraine headaches, ulcers, arthritis, astigmatism, bursitis, stammering, glandular imbalance, asthma, allergies, and other psychosomatic ills.
Stammering? Jesus.
It has also successfully removed any compulsions, repressions, neuroses, and psychoses to which it has been applied. L. Ron Hubbard, 1948.
Go fuck yourself.
Part 1. Discoveries and Principles. Chapter 1. Primary Axioms. Dianetics is a heuristic science built upon axioms. Workability rather than truth has been consulted. The only claim made for these axioms is that by their use, certain definite and predictable results can be obtained. The principal achievement of Dianetics lies in its organization. Almost any of its parts can be found somewhere in history, even when they were independently evolved by the writer. There are no principal sources, and where a practice or a principle is borrowed from some past school, the connection is usually accidental and does not admit any further use or validity of that school. Dianetics will work, and can only be worked, when regarded and used as a unity. When diluted by broader applications of older practices, it will no longer produce results. To avoid confusion and prevent semantic difficulties, new and simplified terminology has been used, and is used only as defined herein. Dianetics is actually a family of sciences. It is here addressed in the form of a science of thought, applicable to psychosomatic ills and individual aberrations. The field of thought may be divided into two areas, which have been classified as the knowable and the unknowable. We are here concerned only with the knowable. In the unknowable, we place that data which we do not need to know in order to solve the problem of improving or curing of aberrations of the human mind. By thus splitting the broad field of thought, we need not now concern ourselves with such indefinites as spiritualism, deism, telepathy, clairvoyance, or, for instance, the human soul. Conceiving this split as a line drawn through the area, we can assign as means of the human to know in order to solve the problem of improving or curing of aberrations of the human mind. By thus splitting the broad field of thought, we need not now concern ourselves with such indefinites as spiritualism, deism, telepathy, clairvoyance, or, for instance, the human soul.
Okay, I don't know if y'all are catching this right now. This sounds like a motherfucking contradiction. So back in this time, they didn't give a fuck about the human soul and spirituality. This is going on the list. Give me a minute.
With the knowable. In the unknowable, we place that data which we do not need to know in order to solve the problem of improving or curing of aberrations of the human mind. By thus splitting the broad field of thought, we need not now concern ourselves with such indefinites as spiritualism, deism, telepathy, clairvoyance, or, for instance, the human soul. Conceiving this split as a line drawn through the area, we can assign a dynamic principle of existence to all that data remaining in the knowable field. After exhaustive research, one word was selected as embracing the finite universe as a dynamic principle of existence. This word can be used as a guide or a measuring stick, and by it can be evaluated much information. It is therefore our first and our controlling axiom. The first axiom is survive. This can be seen to be the lowest common denominator of the finite universe. It embraces the conservation of energy and all forms of energy. It further delineates the purpose of that energy so far as it is now viewable by us in the knowable field. The activity of the finite universe can easily be seen to obey this axiom as though it were a command. All works and energies can be considered to be motivated by it. The various kingdoms have this as their lowest common denominator. For animals, vegetables, and minerals are all striving for survival. We do not know to what end we are surviving, and in our field of the knowable and in our choice of only the workable axioms, we do not know and have no immediate reason to ask why. All forms of energy are then surviving to some unknown end for some unknown purpose. We need only to know that they are surviving, and that as units or species, they must survive. By derivation from the first workable axiom, we come into possession of the second. In obedience to the command survive, life took on the form of a cell, which, joining with other cells, formed a colony. The cell, by procreating, expanded the colony. The colony, by procreating, formed other colonies. Colonies of different types united, and necessity, mutation, and natural selection brought about specializing, which increased the complexity of the colonies until they became an aggregation. The problems of the colonial aggregation were those of food, protection, and procreation. In various ways, a colonial aggregation of cells became a standardized unity, and any advanced colonial aggregation came into possession by necessity, mutation, and natural selection of a central control system. The purpose of the colonial aggregation was to survive. To do this, it had to have food, means of defense, protection, and means of procreation. The control center which had developed had as its primary command, survive. Its prime purpose was the food, defense, protection, and means of procreation. Thus can be stated the second workable axiom. The purpose of the mind is to solve problems relating to survival. The ultimate success of the
Bear
organism,
fight?
its species or life, would be at its unimaginable extreme, immortality. The final failure, in obedience to the law survive, would be death. Between eternal survival and death lie innumerable gradations. In the middle ground of such a scale would be mere existence, without hope of much success, and without fear of failure. Below this point would lie step by step innumerable small errors, accidents, losses, each one of which would tend to abbreviate the chances of reaching the ultimate goal. Above this point would lie the small successes, appreciations, and triumphs, which would tend to secure the desirable goal. As an axiom, the mind can then be said to act in obedience to a central basic command, survive, to direct or manage the organism in its efforts to accomplish the ultimate goal for the individual or species or life, and to avoid for the individual or species or life any part of the final failure, which leads to the stated axiom, the mind directs the organism, the species, its symbiotes, or life, in the effort of survival. The Dianetic meaning of symbiote is extended beyond the dictionary definition, the living together of two dissimilar organisms, to mean any or all life or energy forms which are mutually dependent for survival. The atom depends on the universe on the atom. A study of the field of evolution will indicate that survival has been, will be, and is the sole test of an organism, whether the organism is treated in the form of daily activity or the life of the species. No action of the organism will be found to lie without the field of survival, for the organism is acting within its environment, upon information received or retained, and error or failure does not alter the fact that its basic impulse was motivated by survival. Another axiom may then be formulated as follows. The mind, as the central direction system of the body, poses, perceives, and resolves problems of survival, and directs or fails to direct their execution. As there are many organisms in the same species all attempting to accomplish the same end, and as there are many species, and as matter itself is attempting in one unit form or another to survive, there is necessarily conflict and contest among the individuals of the species, other species, or units of matter. Species cannot survive without being interested primarily in the species. Natural selection and other causes have established
Nicole
this
Kidman
as a
could not just
primary
get
rule
declared
for survival,
suppressive because it might
that
not
the
work
unit
well with the
remain alive
press.
as long as
She was told
possible
that if
as
she
a unit,
wants to see the
and by
kids that they had
association and
adopted,
procreation,
you can't say
that the
shit about
species remain alive
Scientology or
as a
Tom.
species.
If you say anything, the kids are with Tom, and
Second-grade
that's it.
interest is paid by the unit or the species to its symbiotes. Third-grade interest is paid to inanimate matter. As this is apparently the most workable solution, natural selection best preserves those species which follow this working rule, and the symbiotes of the successful species, therefore, have enhanced opportunity for survival. Man is the most successful organism currently in existence, at least on this planet. Man is currently winning in the perpetual cosmic election, which possibly may select the thinker of the new thought. Man is heir to the experience and construction of his own ancestors. As cellular conservatism is one of the factors of survival, his mind is basically the same mind which directed and resolved the problems of his animal forebears.
This is when the best
By
friend
evolution and natural
relationship
selection,
started between David
this mind,
Miscavige and
therefore,
Tom Cruise
has
back
the
in like
primary
2000.
priority in emergencies. Superimposed on this animal mind has been developed an enormously complex analyzer, which probably exists as his frontal lobe. The command survive is variable in individuals and species to the extent that it may be strong or weak. Superior strength of the command in the individual or species is normally but variably a survival factor. The primary facet of personality is the basic strength of the dynamic drive. Dynamic, the dynamic thrust into time and space of an individual, a species, or a unit of matter or energy, especially defined for the purpose of Dianetics as survive. The dynamic is variable from individual to individual and race to race. It is varied by physiology, environment, and experience. Its manifestation in the animal mind affects both the tenacity of the individual to life or purpose, and it affects the activity of the analyzer. The first characteristic of the individual which should be considered is the basic strength of his dynamic, by which an axiom can be formulated. The persistency of the individual in life is directly governed by the strength of his basic dynamic. The analytical, human, or as it has elsewhere been called erroneously, the conscious mind, is variable from individual to individual and race to race in its ability to perceive and resolve problems. Another axiom can then be formulated. Intelligence is the ability of an individual, group, or race
This is
to
when
resolve
David
problems
Miscavige
relating
wanted
to
to limit
survival.
Tom to
It
Scientologists
should be
dating.
noted that there is a
Tom
distinct
agreed.
difference between the dynamic and the intelligence. High intelligence may not denote high dynamic. High dynamic may not denote high intelligence. Intelligence is mental sensitivity and analytical ability. Dynamic is the persistency of the individual in obedience to the command, survive. It has been noted that there is a gradation in the scale of survival. Gains toward the ultimate goal are pleasurable. Failures toward the final defeat are sorrowful or painful. Pleasure is therefore the perception of well-being or an advance toward the ultimate goal. Pain, therefore, is the perception of a reduction
I've
toward the
not been
final
listening
defeat.
to this story, this fucking book, for like the past like 10 minutes. I have not been paying attention. I'm gonna cut that off. Let's go check out Pup Groomer. I was listening to the original thesis, Dianetics, the original thesis. They mentioned not giving a shit about the soul or spirituality, which I wonder if that's. No, that's not in the original thesis anymore. I would almost guarantee you they would not miss something like that. No, probably not. I'm just. It really is, dude. I think I have an MU back on like fucking minute 4 of that shit. Tom dated a Spanish girl that he met while he was in Spain while opening up a new org there with Dave. She was a Spanish actress, and their relationship was kept quiet. No one had even noticed her on the Tom Cruise map. Good thing, because when the church decided to dig up some info on the girl, turns out she had a bit of a shady past. A bit of girl on girl action, some softcore stuff, and basically she would not live up to the microscopic scrutiny that the world would put her under as a Scientologist and Tom Cruise's new gal pal. She was out of there. It's out 2D, Sieglin. You gotta know that. It's out 2D. I'd get you RPF'd if you were in the Sea Org. I'm distracted listening to Jen, watching her stream. Oh, Pinche Becky's here. Well, in the live stream that I'm watching with Jen, not with you guys. I know my shit's quiet, and I'm sorry if I'm boring, and then I kind of get zoned out doing other shit. Oh, this is the audition. Several personal questions were asked about the woman being auditioned and what they thought of Scientology, Tom, etc. Well, considering they're all Scientologists, I think they're gonna think pretty highly of Scientology. Auditions were rejected. Is it? I have no idea what time they hand out booklets. I was gonna say, I don't think they're at the org this late usually. Um, Tom was asked by David, "Who do you want will make her a Scientologist?" Tom said Jennifer Garner. It failed. Hang on, I gotta copy this quote. Quote, how do we get to Jennifer Garner? Somebody who knows Jennifer? Good idea. Who do we know that knows Jennifer? J.J. Abrams. He does the Alias shows with her. Let's have him do a project. We already have a director for the next Mission Impossible installment. Damn. We'll fire the current director that's contracted to do the movie, and we'll get J.J. Abrams on board. Once J.J.'s on board, we'll get Jennifer on board, and that's it. We have her. So once J.J. Abrams is on board, Tom finds out from Abrams that Jennifer Garner has a big thing for tigers. Tom figures this is a sure way to get her. What does he do? He buys her a freaking tiger. Not a tiger skin, not a tiger stuffed animal toy, a real live fucking tiger in a cage. Jennifer is so freaked out, she thinks Tom is nuts. I now have more I need to look into. Scarlett Johansson attempt. God. Hang on. One meeting at CCN, and she was gone. Just testing something. Hang on. Gonna bring that up a little. Nope. A little too loud. There we go. Right there. Just trying to test my audio. Here's the part that baffles all logic, and only Tom, Katie, and Tom's lawyer know the truth behind this. If Tom cannot have kids with Mimi Rogers, who now has 2 kids from a previous marriage, or from a later marriage, and Tom cannot have kids with Nicole, whose pregnancy was the reason for the divorce, then how does he manage to get Katie Holmes pregnant 2 hours into their relationship? I think I'm gonna hop off. I will talk to all of you later. Thanks for chilling. Peace.